All right. You guys hear me? How about now? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, so let's kick this off, guys, so we can make up some time here. So today you're going to be listening to Teddy Delaney. He's the eSports Program Administrator at Lackawanna College in Scranton, PA, and has been since the program's inception in May of 2018. Over the last 4 years, Teddy's been working tirelessly to perfect the structure of the esports program from top to bottom. From recruiting and the competition to event production and marketing, Teddy strives to create the best possible experience for everyone involved at the esports program. In the 4 years since the program's creation, 2 of the LC sports teams have earned their spot in national championships. That's awesome. Now venturing into the business side of esports, Teddy hopes to implement new revenue streams for Lackawanna College. Take it away, Teddy.
All right, what's going on? I am Teddy Delaney. I am actually, as of this week, the Director of Esports and Theater Operations. Just got a nice little promotion this week, which is pretty cool. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about esports, what that is, our program at Lackawanna College, what we've been up to, the games we play, different events that we've been creating, and now venturing into a different business side of esports that I'm sure some of you might be familiar with. So yeah, esports is the new entrepreneur's dream. Basically, how many of you are gamers in here? I just asked this before, but raise your hand if you're a gamer. A lot of gamers in here. How many of you have ever been to, a major esports event, a major staged LAN or anything like that? Only a couple, right? So that's something that we're going to get into. So who am I? I am Teddy Delaney. I'm the Director of Esports at Lackawanna College. I studied business administration at Penn State and Lackawanna College, and I currently live just down the road in the back mountain, Harvey's Lake, Pennsylvania, with my wife and 2 children, who still occasionally beat me in Super Smash Bros., but we don't want to talk about that. So, back in May of 2018, I was hired full-time as the esports program administrator. I created the program with Dr. Jill Murray, who is the current sitting president of Lackawanna College, and together we kind of formulated this program that encompasses all things esports, and we're housed in the athletics program. So esports is the newest sport at Lackawanna College, which is pretty cool, which means that those in the program are considered student athletes, and they're eligible for scholarships. So you can go to college to earn a degree and earn a scholarship along the way to play esports. And actually, King's College has their own esports program as well. We started out with 3 different game titles: Rocket League, League of Legends, and Overwatch, and we have since added Valorant, Super Smash Bros., and Fortnite. At the beginning, we probably had around 25 kids in the program in the first year, and now 4 years later, we have upwards of 45. Started with 50 this year, but some of them peter out. They can't take the competitive nature of esports. And as was said in my intro, over the past 4 years, 2 of our teams in Overwatch and Valorant, we made it to 2 national championships. So it's pretty neat. And I was just talking about this earlier with some reps from Wilkes, who are going to be starting a program, I believe. But we can compete against anyone. There's so many different leagues in collegiate esports. We've played LCCC, we've played Harvard, we've played Boise State, we've played Penn State. It's the wild, wild west. You can really join any league that you see fit that hosts the games that you want, host tournaments that you want, and play against whoever you want, which is pretty cool. Yep, we've got through national championships. And now something that we've been getting into, and something that I've always wanted to do from the beginning of the program, is be able to host events. Host events for high schools, host events for colleges, maybe the amateur leagues, and maybe even one day pro leagues. We actually have worked with Katana Miller, who is the STEM coordinator of the Scranton School District, to put on a bunch of different tournaments for the Scranton School District up at Lackawanna College, where we've 3D printed trophies, we've given out gift cards. I think we've done it for Rocket League, for Super Smash Bros., for Valorant, and we want to host many, many more, because we have a 1,000+ seat theater in the heart of our main building, Angeli Hall, where again we've hosted high school events. We had a collegiate event against Marywood University, who also has an esports program. We invite all of the student athletes to come out and play, bring their parents, bring their friends, come and watch, because a lot of gamers are looking for that on-stage competitive experience, right? And that's what we have been providing. So those of you, some of you said that you've seen some of these big events, right? And maybe only a couple of you have ever been to one. So the next slide is actually a quick 3-minute video showing what esports is and the kind of competitive vibe that comes along with it. Well, we could skip ahead through that. But anyway, some of you, how many people watch Twitch? Couple, two, three? Okay, a lot of people. So some of you have seen some of the large-scale on-stage events, right? And it's very similar to going to a professional sporting event. How many have been to a professional sporting event? A bunch of people. So a lot of these student athletes in esports are looking for that vibe, that feel, that on-stage presence, that you guys come out and are rooting for them. Maybe they're playing Smash Bros. And they want people cheering them on. They want to be on stage playing. So the problem that we see in our area is that there are no venues like this around here. There are no places where you can go locally and say, oh, we're going to watch the Marywood or the Kings versus Lackawanna College Rocket League event, you know? And we want to provide that. So the solution that the Lackawanna College eSports program is bringing is utilizing that 1,000+ seat theater. We have upgraded all of our audio, video to add that element to our college and to our program. We have a giant 80-foot screen on stage in our theater where we can project the gameplay. So you come and you play the game, you have kids on stage playing the game, you have people in the stands ranting and raving, cheering on their favorite team, and so that's what we want to bring to Scranton. Lackawanna College is in Scranton, if I didn't say that already. So, moving on, we want to bring the esports industry to NEPA. We want to host regular events. We want to host tournaments. We want to host different charity events that we've been a part of. Most recently, has anyone heard of Extra Life, the Extra Life Foundation? No? Okay, so Extra Life is a foundation that works with the Children's Miracle Network in Scranton, PA, and there's an Extra Life Day, which is where all streamers across Twitch or YouTube, they put on their stream, and all donations and proceeds that come to them go to the Children's Miracle Network. We most recently did this with Bar Tari, which is a bar in downtown Scranton, and we raised over $5,000. And that all goes to the Janet Weiss Children's Hospital through the Children's Miracle Network, through the Extra Life Foundation, which is pretty cool. So we want to be able to bring that aspect to Scranton as well. We've also, the last point on there was team building. So we've also, in our facility, we have a state-of-the-art facility at Lackawanna College, 30+ Alienware PCs. We're actually looking to upgrade them. How many have a PC at home that they game on? So you're familiar with the equipment. So all of our stage PCs have i9 core processors, 3080s, so the best of the best. And we have the same equipment in our facility where all of our student athletes are housed, where they come to practice, they come to compete, they hang out, they can have study halls up there, take online classes up there. And we've also recently done different team building exercises with our IT department, the women's basketball team, different athletic teams where they come up and they play Among Us, or they do some sort of online escape room, just to get them talking and active with one another, you know, kind of bringing that team bonding experience. So, moving on. So along with bringing the business of esports to Scranton, PA, to the Lackawanna College esports program, it also creates opportunities for students, for anyone in the community to get involved. There's a chart on this slide that's from NASEF, which is the North American Scholastic Esports Federation, that shows you all the different opportunities that were available, what they thought were available back in 2018. So you see we have content creators, we have entrepreneurs, we have organizers, strategists. So if you're not maybe the best of the best in competitive video gaming, if you're not the best at cranking 90s in Fortnite, maybe you can get involved a different way. Maybe you're a very personable person and you can shoutcast. Maybe you know how to operate OBS and run a stream. Maybe you know how to, create a structure around a tournament. Maybe you know how to fix an internet issue if you're in mid-game and all of a sudden the network drops and you don't know what to do. There's so many different opportunities in esports other than just gaming. There's a business side, there's mental health pieces of it, general managers, IT support, like I said, marketing, social media management. One thing that our program has done is we've added an EID, which is much like an SID, which is a sports information director. We have an eSports information director, someone that handles all of our Twitter posts, all of our Facebook posts, all of our Instagram posts. And so there's a lot of different opportunities. So the next couple slides is going to dive into these different parts. So like I said, there's just breaking down that graph, there's different strategists, analysts, people who collect the data from the games. If we're talking Rocket League, there's goals, assists, saves, and shots that are recorded in these games. So you can help on that side, record the data, help the stream out. Moving on to the content creators, just like I said, if you've ever watched a football game, you listen to Chris Collingsworth or Troy Aikman ramble on about the game. Like, we need those people for these events to shoutcast on stream or in person. We need personalities. We need journalists to write about them. Right now, for all 6 titles, I do every single recap for the games that we play. I shoutcast every single game that we play. Last night, I did our last regular season Valorant match. So not only am I working my normal 9 to 5, but after hours, I'm shoutcasting every game. I'm writing all the recaps. So we need student athletes, we need students, we need community members, entrepreneurs who are interested in these different fields. We also have people that do all of our graphics. So if you're well adept in Photoshop and know how to make some nifty graphics and make things pop, that's another field that you can get into. There's so many different opportunities. Entrepreneurs, that's what we're here for, right? So those of you who have gotten involved in marketing or business development, have worked in any of the apps that create these tournament structures, there's so many different pathways for you to get involved in these businesses, and that's exactly what we need to make this business a success. Lastly, organizers, just like I said. Luckily, my assistant program director works directly in our IT department. So I have a direct line to all IT support, but that is a major, crucial part of esports. If you're interested in coding, or if you're interested in network infrastructure, all those sorts of things. Again, it just speaks to the many different pathways that are available in esports. So that graphic that was put together by NASEF is from, I want to say, about 2018. And they thought there was just a small bubble of potential esports pathways. And then the next slide shows you what it has become. So we look at that. And just if you can see that, I know it's kind of small, but there's so many different pathways that you wouldn't even think about, from sales and marketing to events organizations and media. The sky's the limit. It's not just limited to gamers, those that can play on stage. There are so many different pathways, and that's why I'm here talking at the Entrepreneur Conference, because we need help. We want to make this a reality. We've put on some successful events for some local high schools and colleges, but we want to bring different amateur orgs and professional organizations to our hometown in Scranton. We want to provide a space for you guys to come and hang out, potentially compete, cheer on. And another aspect that I kind of skimmed over was we're also looking for new spaces in Lackawanna College to create a pay-by-the-hour gaming hub. I don't know, has anyone ever been to like a gaming cafe or a pay by the hour? So not a lot of people. Back when I was your age, or the high school age, there was a place in Dallas, PA called Gizmos, where you can go and pay $10 an hour and play Halo all day, and it was a beautiful thing. But I think places like that were a little bit ahead of their time. Now, maybe everyone has a PS5, or maybe everyone doesn't have a PS5. We want to provide a space where we can have that opportunity provided to everyone, where they can come in, maybe pay $5-10 an hour, game with their friends. You're going to have solid internet. You're going to have the best equipment to game on. And again, it'll be another kind of club location to host different gaming events, tournaments, leagues, charity events, so on and so forth. So, in summation, the esports industry is coming to Scranton. We've already run many different successful events for high schools, colleges, different charity events that we've had, but we want to provide rec leagues. Has anyone ever been to the riverfront in Scranton? A couple people. So just like you can go there and join a soccer league or a basketball league or any sort of league, we want to bring that for Fortnite. We want to bring that for Valorant or Rocket League or Smash or Call of Duty or anything. But we want to provide that opportunity for the underground esports scene in our area. We want to create tournaments, competition, give opportunities to those of you who are the competitive gamers, those of you who might want to try shoutcasting or running a league or anything like that. Back in 2016, 2017, I was gaming with a couple close friends on GTA Online. And that was pretty much all I played back then. And then this opportunity arose to create this structure and provide opportunities for a local college. And now I've built a career out of it. It's insane. Like if this was available to me back when I was in college, I would have jumped at the opportunity to game in college and earn a scholarship. It's insane. So that's what we're trying to do, is trying to create more opportunities for students like you to get involved, maybe compete, maybe shoutcast, do all sorts of stuff. And that's what I have for you. So, yeah, a lot of time for questions. Thank you. So, does anyone have any specific gaming questions?
In the future, like for the Northeast Pennsylvania, for this new wave of gaming, are you going to bring any sort of sports games to your?
You mean like FIFA or 2K
Yeah.
or Madden? Absolutely. So a lot of the leagues compete in all of those games right now. What game do you play?
All those.
All of them? So yeah, a lot of those leagues already compete in those games. Right now, it's just about the structure for us. So we have those 6 titles. We have kids that are interested in those. But I like to, just like I think of a regular athletic department, I want to have a specific coach for each game. Because, basketball is different than football, this is different than baseball, just like League is different from Rocket League, it's different from Valorant. So it's just about, having that coach, that structure. But for these leagues, absolutely, because we think that'll be one of the most popular right off the bat, are FIFA, Madden, 2K, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Other questions? Yes. Sorry, I have a cord today. I can't run as much.
So let's say shoutcasting was something that's been like a dream or something you've aspired for
Sure.
ever since you were younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you go about like getting into that?
I would start with streaming, to be honest with you. I mean, get yourself out there on Twitch or on YouTube. Get used to, talking to a camera, because whether it's in person or online, you have to get used to just speaking. You have to be knowledgeable about the game that you're shoutcasting. But yeah, put yourself out there on Twitch. Put a camera on you. Play some games. Even watch a Twitch stream and kind of talk to yourself and shoutcast to yourself. Just practice, Again, look at different Twitch streams, figure out what content and what they're saying, and try and just like hone your skill set that way. Practice. So.
So you were talking about like the coaching perspective.
Yeah.
How would you get that job? How would you not job but position?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about putting yourself out there. So, are you interested in a coaching position?
I was just interesting how you would get it.
Yeah. So right now, the esports scene kind of lives on Twitter, And if you're following the right people, you'll see like looking for coaching position, looking for this, looking for that. If you're knowledgeable in any game and you have great game sense, let's say you know the ins and outs of every map on Valorant, and you know every utility that every agent uses. If you can express that to a team, if you've ever been a part of a team, if you have team experience, those are all key qualities in being a successful coach in any sport, let alone esports. So it's just about putting yourself out there. Go on Twitter, follow different esports organizations. And again, yeah, it's just about putting yourself out there. We're looking for coaches, by the way, if you're interested. Any other questions? Oh, sorry.
Like,
Yeah.
Would you get paid for that?
Absolutely.
Like, as long as also going to college?
So if you're looking to be a player coach, that would probably, you'd fall more in the category of getting scholarship dollars, because I don't know that you're allowed to pay a student, other than if it was like an internship or, a fellowship position. But I am actually looking to have a player coach next semester, but I'd probably just give them scholarship dollars in order to do that. But yeah, all of our coaches right now are part-time paid, so they do get a stipend. But yeah, I mean, it's different for every school and university, but majority of coaches are paid at this point, yeah.
Are there any opportunities for high school students at Lackawanna?
So collegiate esports, there's kind of rules across the board that all competing members must be full-time enrolled in the college, so that there's opportunities to get involved on a recruiting basis, and come tour our program, come tour our facilities, get in our Discord server, and if you're interested, then we work out with the team, meet the coach, meet the players, things like that. But unfortunately, in terms of competition, right now you have to be full-time enrolled at the college in order to compete and get involved on that level. Over here?
Like on average, how much scholarship money are the players getting for it?
So it differs. I can't give you exact numbers, but those that excel in the classroom and in-game, they are eligible for a hefty scholarship. Over the last 4 years, I've probably given out 4 or 5 full rides. Full rides. Full room,
rides,
full board,
guys.
full tuition
Oh my God.
to play video games. Yeah. But again, these are student athletes.
Right.
And the same goes for any other sport at our college and many other colleges and universities. And I know that, like, you hear that buzz, right? That's what I get when I go and tour high schools and say, like, who plays video games? Who wants to earn a scholarship to come compete? But yeah, it varies. So if you're a good student, if you're getting A's, if you're excelling, so let's say you're an SSL Rocket League player, you're a Supersonic Legend. It's the top rank. If you're the top ranked player, so let's say you're a top 500 Overwatch player in the country, you know what I mean? And you're getting straight A's, you are eligible for a hefty scholarship.
So you have to have the full picture, right? You can't just be good at video games.
Of course.
You have to be
That's
good grades
one of the stigmas, unfortunately, that still comes. It's like, oh, I'm going to come to your school and play video games, right? It's like, well, no, you're here to earn a degree.
Right.
And you just still happen to be a very good gamer. There's a lot of similarities to traditional sports. If you're an excellent football player, you're probably eligible for scholarship dollars. Same goes for esports.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else, guys?
Any other questions?
Planning your career.
Oh, absolutely. Again, so I draw a lot of similarities to traditional sports. So each of our teams has a set practice schedule. They have set study hall hours. Their competition. So right now we compete in 2 different leagues. So let's say Rocket League, one of our leagues competes on Mondays, the other competes on Wednesdays. So the coach is then responsible to create practice hours in between their classes, in between their study halls. They're required to put in X amount of hours outside of that. For any of you who like solo queue in any of these games, you know that it's a grind to rank up, right? So you got to put in the hours just like you would in basketball or anything else. Sure. So let's say for Rocket League, any familiar with Rocket League, there's different tutorials and, you know, training packs in that. So they might go through a couple of those. They might do a VOD review, just like you would review highlights for football. You know, you look into your opponents, you figure out what their play style is, how fast they are, and you do some VOD reviews, and then it's gameplay. You know, then you work together, you play as a team. It's very similar to traditional sports, believe it or not. You have to put in the hours, you have to study your opponents, you have to study the game, you have to put in the technical practice to figure out how to jump, fly through the air, spin around, do a musty flip, double touch off the... I can't do any of that crap, but it's like, you know, if those of you that are familiar with video games, there's a lot of technical ability, so it's just putting in the hours, listening to your coach, and practicing, yeah.
We have a question from our online people.
Sure.
So Ted asks, what do you see as the next big 3 competitive esports games in the upcoming 3 years?
The next 3?
Yeah, your top
Ooh.
3.
That's tough. So, I guess I could speak to when Valorant came out. That was our 4th title. No one knew if it was going to be a good game, and then it took the world by storm, and now it's one of the biggest titles.
Wow.
New esports. What did you say? The new one, yeah. Even like the DMZ, who all downloaded the new Call of Duty? So it's basically like, you know what Escape from Tarkov is? So it's a lot like that, like where you go in with specific loot that you pull from your inventory, and if you die, you lose it. But yeah, there's too many to name, unfortunately. There's so many games. Any of the new sports games, obviously. Street Fighter, yeah, a lot of fighting games. There's just so many games. The sky's the limit. Literally,
Yeah.
all of the video games out there are eligible to be new esports titles, and
Well,
they all have major viewership too.
And you always have those ones that like come out of nowhere, right? That you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
no one's gonna be super into this, and all of a sudden everyone's
Yep.
playing Stardew Valley, and you're like, how did that
Yeah,
happen?
absolutely. There's a major scene for Tetris out there still, which is insane. So the sky's the limit for video gaming, really. Yeah.
What else? We still have some. Can you repeat
Sure,
that?
absolutely.
You guys plan on hosting Call of Duty tournaments?
Absolutely. And so one thing that we'll be doing moving forward, and one thing that we've done with some of the school districts, is we just kind of send out surveys and interest forms. So I would get in touch with your school districts or any point of contact that I can get. You guys list the games that you're interested in, and then we host tournaments in those games. And there will be cash prizes. One thing I forgot to mention, who's familiar with Overwatch or any of the characters? So you know who Reinhardt is, right? Reinhardt's hammer. One thing that we do for some of these tournaments is we 3D print trophies, and we had a Overwatch match between Lackawanna College and Marywood University, and the trophy was a 3D printed miniature Reinhardt hammer. And it was very, very cool. And we had a nice placard on the front of it that said Scranton Showdown. Unfortunately, Marywood won. Congratulations to them. But they started taking pictures with it. And about 3 minutes after I handed it over, the one Marywood player simulated the hammer down motion and smashed it off the stage. And that hammer took 70 hours to build, to 3D print. And within 3 minutes, they had shattered it in front of our eyes. It was brutal. But yeah, that's another cool thing that we do is 3D print some pretty cool trophies. We've done Mario Kart tournaments where we use the blue shell as the first place trophy, the red shell as the second place trophy, and the green shell as the third place trophy. So we try to add little cool aspects to it. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. So if you're interested in 3D printing, another cool thing you can get involved in. Any other questions?
So how do they get started? Like say I'm in high school now and I really want to like prep myself to be like an esports athlete. Like what do I do right now, even if I may not be necessarily like scholarship worthy,
Sure.
to like train for the team?
So that's the other cool thing is like you don't have to be the best of the best because we also have a club aspect at our school as well where you can join as a casual gamer and just get involved that way. But I mean, again, it's just putting in the hours, putting in the practice. Reach out to me via email, find me on Twitter, at Big Daddy Ted's on Twitter. Follow our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and reach out. I can get you involved with some different training packs. I can get you involved with our teams, and it's just it's about practicing. It's about putting in the hours and just learning the game of your choice. But yeah.
much.
Absolutely.
That was a
Thanks,
great
guys.
Session. And
Appreciate
I'm sure
it.
if anyone else has questions, you can ask.
Yeah, cool.
Feel free.